This podcast is for educational purposes only.
We break down science to help you understand your body, but we're not doctors, and this isn't medical advice.
If you have questions about your health or something doesn't feel right, always talk to a qualified healthcare professional.
Welcome to the first episode of the Microdose. Woohoo, everybody! This is our first episode. This is the show where we take big science and break it down into tiny brain-friendly pieces. I'm your main host for this episode, and I'm Kasia.
I'm Rahima.
And I'm Caitlin.
Welcome, everyone. As you might have seen or might not have seen from our Instagram posts, we revealed the theme a few days ago. But if you don't know the theme yet, we're going to do a grand review here just for you. So, theme 1, drumroll please. Theme 1 is the body under stress. Today is all about body basics. Before we get into the wild what-if scenarios later this season, we have to lay the foundation. We're talking brain structures, hormones, and the high-speed internal highways your body uses when it thinks it's in trouble.
Okay, stress. Let's be honest. For me, it's usually when my phone is like 1% battery left. Or I have an exam coming up.
1,000 mAh power bank.
Oh, I see. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to see a bit information about ourselves, you can find us on Instagram, the Meet the Hosts post. You can find out a little bit more information about us. But for me, stress right now is about, about exams. I can't find the keys or something. It's absolute like chaos to me. Heart racing, my stomach doing flips. Is there an actual method to that madness?
There is a very precise method actually, and that's what we're here to unpack. Once you see the wiring behind the panic, the rest of this series is gonna make a lot more sense.
Okay, let's start simple. Kasia, you're the biology expert here for this theme. What is the actual scientific definition of stress? Because I usually define it as, having too many emails, for example.
Before we go into the definition, we have a question for you guys listening. What do you think counts as stress? So, in physiology, stress is anything that threatens your homeostasis. Think of homeostasis as your body's happy place, the steady state where your temperature, heart rate, and blood sugar are all perfectly balanced.
So wait, is it just mental stuff? Like, does an exam count the same way as saying getting chased by a bear?
To your body, pretty much. We categorize it into 3 different segments: physical, emotional, and environmental. Physical is more like an injury, heat, or intense exercise. For emotional, it's fear or the pressure of a deadline. And environmental could be loud noises or a sudden jump scare.
Your brain doesn't even care if the threat is a literal lion or a late assignment. It sees threat to balance and pulls the same fire alarm. Stress is just your body preparing you to handle something.
Okay, so that's what stress is. But who pulls that alarm, How does it start? Where does the freak out actually begin?
So, it starts in a tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. You actually have 2 of them, buried deep in your temporal lobes. Fun fact, amygdala is actually the Greek word for almond.
So the amygdala is the one that makes you jump, for example, when, the door creaks or the floor creaks or something.
Exactly. It's like the drama queen of the brain. It scans your senses, sight, sound, touch, for danger. It works way faster than your conscious thoughts. It hits the alarm button before you even realize why you're scared.
Okay, so the amygdala screams, "Oh, like there," or something. That exactly. Then what? Who's in charge of this, method?
That's the hypothalamus. If the amygdala is the security who sees the intruder, the hypothalamus is mission control. It's a tiny structure right in the center of your brain that controls your autonomic nervous system. the stuff that happens automatically, like breathing and digestion. It decides exactly how hard the body needs to react.
Okay, so the hypothalamus gets the signal. Does it just flip one switch, or are there multiple things that occur?
Well, it actually flips too. Think of it like a sprint and a marathon. The first pathway is your sympathetic nervous system. This is known as the fast path, like Usain Bolt. It sends instant electrical signals down to your adrenal glands, those little hats sitting on top of your kidneys.
And those glands flood your system with adrenaline and noradrenaline. This happens in seconds. It's what makes your heart skip a beat and your palms get sweaty instantly.
Okay, so adrenaline is the sprint. What's the marathon then?
Well, that is the HPA axis. It's a bit more of a chain reaction. Firstly, the hypothalamus releases a hormone called CRH, which tells your pituitary gland to send a message via your ACTH, which tells your adrenal glands to release cortisol. HPA basically stands for hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal.
So cortisol is the slow path, like not Usain Bolt. It doesn't hit as fast as adrenaline, but it stays in your system longer. It keeps you alert, boosts your energy, and helps you stay focused during a long-term stressor, like exams week.
Okay, so I get kind of the difference between adrenaline and cortisol. Can you give me and the viewers an example of both?
So, adrenaline is more of maybe when you go to a jungle and you're hiking and you're having such a fun time, but suddenly you see a tiger. And that's where adrenaline comes into place. It's where it helped you run away faster. But cortisol is more of like when you have exams week and you're panicking about everything, but it's slower, It doesn't work as fast as adrenaline.
Oh, okay. So I get the hormones. But why does my body feel so weird when they hit? Like why the racing heart and the weird breathing?
Well, it's actually brilliant engineering by your body. Your heart speeds up because adrenaline tells the heart muscle to beat faster. It's pumping oxygen-rich blood to your arms and legs because your body assumes you're about to fight or run.
Same with your lungs. Your airways literally widen, called bronchodilation, so you can pull in turbo mode level of oxygen.
What about the stomach flipping feeling? That's like the worst part.
Well, that's your body being efficient. Digestion actually takes a lot of energy. Your body decides, oh, we can deal with that sandwich later, but right now we need to not die. So it redirects blood away from your stomach and towards your muscles.
It even affects your eyes. Your pupils widen, known as dilation, to let in more light so you can see movement and threats more clearly. And you sweat because your body is pre-cooling itself, anticipating that you're about to do some serious physical work, like running away from a tiger.
Ah, okay. Then why the brain fog? Why can't I remember my own code when I'm stressed?
That's because of your prefrontal cortex, the logical math part of the brain. It actually takes a back seat. Your brain is prioritizing survival, not algebra or food tests. It's hyper-focused on the threat, which makes everything else fuzzy. So next time, in case you're stressed during your exam, just tell your teacher that your prefrontal cortex is a bit slow, and they'll get it.
Exactly, guys. You sound quite smart, especially to your biology teacher.
They'll let you skip your test.
So if this system is like so amazing, so brilliant, why does stress feel so bad? Like why do we talk about it like it's like a health crisis or something?
Well, it actually depends on what kind of stress you have. There's a massive difference between acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress, which is short bursts of stress, are actually helpful. They give you superpowers to finish a project or react to a car swerving into your lane.
The main problem, however, is chronic stress. Our bodies weren't designed to stay in emergency mode for weeks or even months. If the HPA axis stays on, your cortisol stays high, your blood pressure stays elevated, and your digestion stays suppressed.
Okay, so that's the difference between acute and chronic. So it's just the matter of fact that it's being left on for too long, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Stress
Okay.
isn't the enemy. Unending stress is. Your body is a high-performance survival machine, but even a Ferrari breaks down if you redline the engine for 1,000 miles straight.
Okay, so let me summarize this up. The amygdala freaks out, your hypothalamus takes command, adrenaline sprints, and cortisol runs the marathon. So this is not like chaos at all, it's a whole survival plan.
Spot on. And now that we understand how the system is supposed to work, we can start looking at what happens when it doesn't.
Next episode, we're asking the big what if. What if your body couldn't activate the fight or flight response at all? Would you be the most relaxed person on earth, or would you be in serious trouble?
Guys, I'm guessing trouble. I guess see you next time.
And that's today's dose of science. Short, sharp, and hopefully something your brain can actually use.
If you want more episode teasers or just want to hang out with us between doses, follow us on Instagram at _ the microdose _.
We post fun posts, micro facts, and all the things we can't fit into this episode.
Microdose delivered. Until the next dose.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.